Hi, welcome back to my decorating series. We're going to go inside and we're going to go up to the 8th floor for a playroom. So this room I felt like was going to be pretty easy. I felt like there were some pretty clear playroom things. And although I was looking at the candy stuff, this foam mat floor just screams playroom to me. So it made it very simple to pick walls and floors for this room. And then I begin the endless scrolling that I do because I knew there was a ton of stuff in various like filtered lists that I knew I wanted. So of course I start by pulling out everything that's bright colors and fun shapes and anything that looks like a toy. So stuffed animals again. I know I used them in the craft room, but they're so fitting in here. The little aliens. Oh, I thought about using the cardboard cutouts, but they are huge. So it was just an idea at this point. Actually, I really wanted to leave this Stitch's rocket car in here, but I take it out later because there's lots of really big things and I have an idea of where else I want to use it. So it's a shame that it didn't get to stay in this room, but oh, and then I knew I wanted a couple of windows in here, and it gave me a reason to use these Beauty and the Beast ones. I know they're not really playroom, but the fact that they've got pillows and they're bright colors, and honestly, the tops of them are this blue that matches the blue wallpaper, and I was just like, oh, those actually work really well in here. So I knew I wanted a lot of Pixar stuff. I figured I might use Monsters, Inc. stuff. What else did I use a bunch of in here? I'm sure it'll come to me in a bit, but the doors were a little tricky, but I really wanted to use that eyeball door in here. I don't know if it comes across as creepy for kids or like fun, but I don't know how many places I'll use it, and it works enough for me, but I have a feeling it might not vibe for everybody. The doors I pick and the locations that they are is based on the rooms that are going to be on the other side of those doors. Whether or not the doors match on the other side is kind of irrelevant. It's more about kind of where I thought they would fit in relation to those rooms. And now I'm just, again, scrolling, looking for anything cutesy, anything toy, anything that looks like it was meant for a kid. And I didn't want to miss anything. I knew this room ran the risk of being really full. And so I do bring out a lot of stuff and then really have to pare it down. That's one of the reasons right at the beginning, I made this room a 12 by 12 because I was like, this room is going to be super full. And then there was a lot of stuff that I thought about putting in here that I eventually take out or don't even put down because I know that the other rooms on this floor are going to provide me opportunity to use those things, especially when it comes to like the chairs. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I don't put down that I think about putting down. But of course, if I don't put it down, then you don't see what I'm thinking right now. And I don't remember every single thing I looked at. I just know there was a lot of stuff that I looked at and went, does that fit in here? I feel like that fits in here, but also could fit in this other space. But there were some very specific things. The fort and the little cityscape that is from Stitch, from Lilo and Stitch, I knew I wanted those in here. And they are huge. They take up a lot of space. But then they're also like really full and decorated looking in and of themselves, which made this room kind of come together very simply. And that was really nice. So I wasn't sure about like the lighting and stuff, but I feel like the lights that I chose work well. I used the little glow ball, they're multicolored, and then the tangled lanterns because they're really bright and cheerful. I really wanted to make sure everything was bright and cheerful. Oh, and then I had to go and come back, which is why the lighting has changed. So we get to see development during daylight hours without the lights on and nighttime hours with the lights on. So that was kind of fun. I didn't have to do anything. I had to record this video over 2 sessions in one day. So, you know, several hours in between, but that's okay. It gave me time to kind of think about things, which is really helpful sometimes, especially when there's a lot of options. And sometimes when there's really not a lot of options, it's nice to have just a break to really step away and not think about it and come back with new eyes. So the only complaint I have about these lanterns is that they are super bright, like brighter than what you'd think. I feel like the same thing about the Mulan lantern. They're really, really almost jarringly bright. But for a playroom, it works. So I was all right with it. Now I'm just trying to figure out where things need to live. I didn't want to put the block pillars in all four corners. And honestly, I'm surprised I didn't end up putting the small world pillars in here. But color-wise, they really didn't fit for me. So perhaps they'll end up in a different room on this floor. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I was really wanting a lot of little objects, like you would have a bunch of toys out in the room. I really like how that little wagon in the corner turned out. Well, it's not really in the corner. It's by the Alice in Wonderland door with the little stuffed animals in it. It's so cute. And I get to use a lot of stuff that I wouldn't use anywhere else. That dump truck chair, I don't know where else I would bother using that. I mean, maybe. I might surprise myself, but it's very fitting for this space. And yeah, all these little objects, the little like pop-up book we got from Alice. I'm so glad I got to use some of that stuff in here because again, I'm not really sure where else it would get used, and it's very fitting for this space. So yeah, now I'm just trying to like adjust things, kind of balance the stuff on the walls, make sure they're kind of centered. The only real complaint I have about the lighting and this wallpaper is it made some weird shadows, and I don't really understand why. So I don't know if it's really meant to do that or if it's like how I have the lights distributed, but it's kind of makes these weird blocky spaces on the wall. And there's one near, I think when you're entering the room to the left, it's not centered, and the shadow goes across the map that's over there, and it really bugs me. So I don't know why it does that, but I'll just have to live with it because I didn't want the map to be off center for that space. So, oh well. Yeah, I thought about putting some more rugs in here, but this playmat floor really doesn't need carpeting, so I didn't put a ton in there. And then I had to go to Scrooge's shop for the teeny tiny chairs because I wanted more than one next to the pop-up book. I couldn't cope with just having one, and that's all I had at first, so I had to go buy another one. But yeah, just this room came together pretty simply, and it was fun. All right, well, let's go inside and check it out. On the 8th floor this week, starting a whole new kind of theme across the entire floor, which is exciting. And something really fun and playful, which Disney stuff really lends to. So it's nice to kind of lean into that. A lot of the other rooms have been not really realistic, but definitely not playful like this room. And this floor is going to be. I liked being able to use a couple doors that had movement to them, and just getting to use all these little objects that may or may not come across as toys. And, you know, I have kids, so it reminds me of having them when they were little, and just all the bright colors and bright shapes and just variety. I really love how these window seats turned out. I didn't think they would fit, and as soon as I put them in the room, I was like, oh, these really work. Oh yeah, and so since we are later in the day when I recorded this video, I went ahead and changed the time back so we could see it back during the day, because surprisingly, I like this room better in the day lighting. So with all the lights off, they feel more like objects as opposed to functional, which is what they feel like when they're lighting. I mean, I like the mood with the lighting, but for a toy room, I think about kids playing in the daytime. So yeah, I loved this little wagon and turning on the bubble machine and just having all the bright Toy Story things. I really wish you could like go in there, you know, go into the model and the fort and stuff, but that's not really how this game works. But we can pretend like children because this is a playroom. But even like the little LeFou coconut thing I thought was cute to put in here because it looks like something a kid might make. I mean, Gaston's kind of like a child when it comes to making that Gaston out of coconut, or not Gaston, LeFou out of coconuts. So, but yeah, just all the bright colors. See, look at those weird shadows. I don't know what's up with that. But I really thought that the Disney maps looked really cute in here. They're just super bright colors, and of course it's Disney, so like Disney World. So, you know, it fits. And then the scare posters might seem a little scary, but they're also really bright colors. So I thought that worked in here. But yeah, I had a fun time putting this one together, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of this floor. That's it for today's decorating adventure. If you liked this video, a thumbs up is a great way to let me know, and a subscription will keep you up to date on my latest shenanigans. If you want to hang out with me live, I stream on YouTube and Twitch on Thursday evenings and middays on Sunday. I hope you have a lovely day, night, time, wherever you are, whenever you are, and I'll see you next time.